Hello everyone! So what is Stardew Valley? Well, aside from being one of the very best bargains you're ever going to find for a game on Steam, at almost 60,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews for a game that's under $20, it is a simple farming game at its core, but it's also so much more than that. There is an entire unique world to explore, a lot of which you need to unlock to even see. And it's all carefully planned out and uniquely designed, that way no one area feels like any other. I know the first thing that most new players do is wander around to pick up all the cool stuff you can find laying all around the map, which change area to area and season to season. But what would this big map be without a charming town to center it around and all the unique NPCs to fill it in? Except this one. From our hungry friend Linus who prefers to be in the outdoors, to our reclusive basement-dwelling vampire, to our dim-witted blonde, and her drug-abusing sister. Every character in this game feels absolutely unique. In no way do they feel copy-pasted again and again. No one feels like the other. They talk differently, they act differently, their responses are different, they look different. Too many games use the same sprite again and again. They just change the haircut, they all act the same, they all look the same. That gets really boring, and frankly, it's just lazy. Even aside from all the NPCs with their unique schedules, there is so much more depth to this game that I hardly know where to start. We can start with all your skills that you need to level up as you play. Starting at 0, you work your way all the way up to level 10 with unique perks at every level along the way, with bonus perks at level 5 and 10. Farming is obviously the main one, and the one that most of you are likely to level up first. So, don't do it like me. Clearly I know what I'm doing after 100 years. You tired of farming? Well, that's okay, you can go mining. There's a whole mine system, 120 floors right here, plus an entire skull cavern to explore after that, which by the way is endless. The mines naturally are full of valuable gems and ore, plus tons of enemies that you're going to have to fight your way through. The deeper you go, the more the mine changes, the harder it gets, the more stuff you have to see. Every 20 floors the mines change to keep it unique and exciting. Having trouble staying alive? Well, maybe you need to upgrade your combat skill, and the mines are the perfect place to do that. The more monsters you kill, the more experience you get. Now, the combat system in this game is pretty simple, but it's exactly what it needs to be. Nothing spectacular. This is a game based around farming, but with a pretty in-depth combat system on top of that. Plus, a very surprisingly deep choice of weapons and equipment to use. I mean, I can just scroll through it. I've never even seen most of this stuff, and I've played over 600 hours. Look at it all. But maybe the mines are just stressing you out. You keep dying, you keep losing your stuff, you keep losing your progress. Well, maybe it's time to try some fishing. Like everything else in this game, the fishing has depth. Every season there's different fish, different times of day there's different fish, different areas there's different types of fish. It takes a considerable effort to get your fishing skill all the way to level 10, plus finding all the unique fish in the game. I haven't even found them all. You get unique ones in the mines, you need to find the legendary fish. There's one for every season, plus a few others hiding out there. Not to mention the different fishing rods you need to upgrade your way through, plus all the other lures and bait you can attach to them. This is an idea of the fish. These are all the fish, all the lures, all the items you can catch while fishing. Yes, there's that many, and yes, they are all hard to find. Then of course, there's the laziest skill of all, foraging. Like just walking around and picking stuff up? Well, then this is a skill for you. Simply upgrade it by walking around and picking stuff up. Also upgrade it by things like cutting down trees, which you're going to be doing a lot of if you like using your farm. This is one of the first ways you're really going to get in depth with the game, because as you wander around picking up those forageable goods, you're going to start wondering, what are they good for? Who likes them? What do they do? Do I eat them for energy? Do I sell them for money? Or maybe they're someone's favorite gift. Maybe it's their favorite gift and it's their birthday today. Then you get extra friendship points. Before you know it, you can start dating. Just make sure they're not already married. Play your cards right and you can even get married, and then they'll move right into your house. At which point things can go terribly wrong and you end up with some of these things running around. And don't forget all the amazing things you can craft, unlocking as you go. These turn things into other things, making your experience that much more unique. Maybe you want some light on your farm? Well, you can make an iron lamppost. All you need is an iron bar and a battery pack. But where do you get those? That's part of the fun. You need to gather all the resources, figure out how to make them, be able to make them, and then you can craft them, giving your farm a very unique feel. But maybe you're a chef anyway, you just want to cook stuff. Well, there's a ton of recipes. I haven't even unlocked them all. These are definitely to your advantage though. Look at all those buffs they give you. Just gotta find all those recipes, get the ingredients to make them. Don't forget you're gonna need to upgrade your house before you can do that. Go ahead and throw a Christmas tree in the children's room. That's the way to do it. Plus, fill your basement with something that's gonna make you a ton of money. Or just something exciting, or forget it even exists like I do. NPCs here have their own unique dialogue. They're all having fun. Plus, there's some cool things you want to collect from these, so always make sure to check in on these. Did I mention there's a wizard? We can't forget about all the rare events it can trigger. Sometimes the NPCs have very unique and rare dialogue. Maybe you'll see the alien, maybe the sea monster will spawn, maybe a fairy will show up overnight and make your crops grow. Maybe Pam will one day be sober. And these so far are all just very simple concepts. Maybe you like taking things to the extreme and you want to make your entire field into giant crops. That can be a lot of fun. This can be done with any aspect of the game. It's a lot of fun to take things to the extreme, and even from there you can take it even further. If you want to be really crazy, you can even pet your dog once in a while. Need a little change of scenery? Well, just sit here and wait. A train will show up eventually, and that'll give you something to look at. And that community center, it's not going to fix itself. That's right, you've got to work through this place room by room until everything is done. Each room has bundles you need to complete. Don't worry, you get rewards like friendship for completing the rooms. These bundles can be pretty hard to complete, but you do need to complete them all in order to complete the room. Once you've done all the rooms, the community center is complete. Or you could be lazy like me and sell your soul to the evil Joja Corporation for a small amount of money and have it all completed for you, thus gaining access to the rewards without really having to work for it. This game is so deep that there's actually games within the games. Both of these pretty impossible to beat by the way, so good luck with that. And when you get bored with the regular game, you can start testing ideas to see what kind of crazy things work. I decided to let some slimes go in town, and they're slowly but surely overrunning it. Cool Easter egg, if an NPC walks past, they'll say hi to each other. They are multiplying pretty fast. Don't forget, all the cool Easter eggs are hard to find throughout the game. Good luck finding them all without looking it up though. A game like this is just so deep and there's so much to it that I hardly know how to explain it. Even as I walk around town, I think about all the unique things going on. As I'm here, I think about Mayor Lewis, who's usually sitting in here, who's having an affair with Marnie, who lives down at the ranch. Once you make friends with the mayor, you can gain access to his room and you can find signs of this. A love letter from M, which is Marnie. This game is absolutely full of tiny little things like that which make it so charming and so unique. Work hard and you'll unlock places like the sewers. What kind of stuff lurks in here? Well, you can definitely fish in here, there's some cool things to find, plus this guy who's essentially the town's black market dealer. Even beyond that, once you play to the end of the game, there's an entirely new area in here to explore. Now I, to be fair, haven't even scratched the surface of what this game is, but the only way to really understand for sure is to play it for yourselves, as I'm sure many of you have. But for those of you out there that are wondering, is it worth it to buy it? Would I like it? The answer is almost always yes. Everyone who I know who has played this game loves it. They've spent tons and tons of hours on it. And considering the amount of hours people put on this for the price you pay for it, absolutely worth it. The craziest part is, this game was made by a single person. This is what happens when a single person makes something and they don't cut any corners along the way. They wanted to make it their own, they wanted to be perfect. Nothing was ever good enough, everything was good. And by creating this game, they set the bar very, very high. There's been a lot of attempts to replicate this, none have even come close yet. I'm really looking forward to the day when one even does come close, but until then, I'm going to be right here, not taking care of my animals, making mega crops, marrying and divorcing the entire town. If I was to give Stardew Valley an honest rating out of 100, I would give it legitimately a 95. Why not higher? Well, that's because nothing is ever perfect. Perfection is complacency. Things can always be improved, but in my opinion, this is as good as a game like this gets. Regardless of slimes floating on the river. This actually kind of illustrates my point. There's always something new, something to do in this game. For some reason, there's a slime on the river. That means we can add stuff onto the river. There's a shine here. That means I can go gold panning and collect resources. Walking just a little further north, we find Penny staring off into the water. I know that if I fish here in the right time of year, I can catch a legendary fish. And it just goes on and on and on. The depth of this game is simply incredible. I mean, after 600 hours and a year and a half, I'm still playing it, still making content on it, and people still love it, which is absolutely crazy. So I hope this has given some of you a quick overview on what Stardew Valley is. Like I said, the only way to really understand just how deep this game is to play it for yourselves. So if you want to see more Stardew Valley content, feel free to look at my channel. You're more than welcome. There's already hundreds of videos covering pretty much everything you can imagine from this game, plus new videos up all the time, starting to cover new games, getting into all sorts of things, so there's lots of content there for you guys to see, and I'm always open to video ideas, game suggestions, everything. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Stardew Valley. I really had trouble getting everything I wanted to say about this game into one single video. There's just so much there, there's so much to it, I cannot really pinpoint it. You just have to immerse yourself in the game is really the only way to truly see it, but let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, I want to thank everyone along the way who's been supporting me, subscribing, viewing, comments, everything. It all helps. Wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you so much. Thank you to the creator of Stardew Valley for making this awesome game and basically put me where I am here today. Plus, given many people many millions of hours of entertainment, and that's not an over-exaggeration. So aside from all that, I hope you found this video entertaining, useful, found it something anyways. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!